next governor of the state of New Hampshire. You know, I love Maggie, and I was sitting back there and listening to her talk, and I thought, I should just come up there and say, I agree with her, and sit down. You're very fortunate to have someone who knows as much, cares as much, and has demonstrated as much leadership running for governor, and I urge you to elect her. And in my coming to New Hampshire, I realize I'm recommending an all-woman sweep, but I hope you will re-elect Congresswoman Carol Shea Porter. I thank all the people who've been in the program before, and I thank all of the Obama campaign volunteers and staff who are here. Thank you for what you're doing. I'd like to thank the University of New Hampshire for letting me come back here. I gave a commencement address here with the first President Bush together in 2007, and it rained that day too. But it had a good result, and I want this too. Let me just say a couple of things. First, I read eagerly all the articles that were in the local press about this event and my coming here for the President. And I loved it all, except there was one paragraph where a bunch of students were interviewed, and one of them said, you know, I don't know if I'm going to vote or not, I don't know if it matters. Well, let me just say this. The Republicans in New Hampshire think it matters. That's why they have worked so hard to keep you from voting. Yeah. You know, when I was just a little older than you were, almost 40 years ago, the United States Supreme Court said that every full-time college student in the United States had an absolute constitutional right to register to vote, either where their home was or where they went to college. They got to choose. It was almost 40 years before the New Hampshire legislature tried to undo that. Anybody who's trying to take something away from you ought to send you a message, and you ought to get it back. That is the first right to choose. From the point of view of the university, I think there are basically three issues here, and the university students and the young people of America. The first is, who's most likely to get us out of the mess we're in as quickly as possible? I don't think that's a close question. As I said in the Democratic Convention in Charlotte, it is my opinion, and not just mine, but the opinion of every single serious economist with whom I have spoken, that no president, not me, not any of my predecessors, nobody who ever served, could have healed all the damage that President Obama found on the day he took office in just 4 years. But let's look what has been done against enormous opposition. We have 500,000 new manufacturing jobs. They're growing in America for the first time since the 1990s, when I came up here in 1991 and 1992 and told you we could bring American manufacturing back. We did, then it dropped off again. Now it's growing again. We have 250,000 people more working in the automobile industry alone because of the automobile restructuring, which the president's opponent opposed. And we've got the car business back. I saw new car sales now at 4-year high this year. That's important. It's important because it's not just the people making cars. It's 1.5 million, 2 million others who are in the dealerships or work in the auto parts supply business. You want to know why the president's 8 points ahead in Ohio, which is normally a 50-50 state? Because it's the second most important state next to Michigan in the entire country in the production of automobile-related jobs. They know who's got a better economic plan. because we now have 100,000 people working in solar power. On one bright spring day this year, in Germany, a country where the sun shines on average as much as it does in London, they generated 66 megawatts of electricity, the equivalent of 20 nuclear power plants from the sun only. And it was worth, according to Deutsche Bank, not Greenpeace, not the Sierra Club, Deutsche Bank, 300,000 new jobs to the German economy. They are 1/4 our size. They have about half the capacity to generate solar power we do in America. If we had anything like the same policies they did, we could get 2.5 million more jobs. But because of President Obama's policies, we have moved again to the leadership in global investment in solar and wind power, and we are first or second in the world in the capacity to generate electricity and jobs from both.